Hey, what's going on, guys? I wanted to walk you through a quick stretch for the suboccipital space. Basically, that base of the skull right at the back of the neck. If you kind of think about these top two corners, a lot of times we've got a group of muscles called the suboccipitals, but that upper cervical spine can get really tight, especially if we've got a forward head posture. Maybe we're doing computer work all day, or driving, or working on our phones, or reading. And a lot of times if this space in the top of the head, right up here where the neck meets the head, is getting compressed and you're noticing like a forward chin type posture, or you're having tightness back there, these are really good exercises to go through and stretch out that space. Just for starters, just a simple chin tuck in neutral does open up and gap that space. So if you're here and it's not a large movement because these are pretty small muscles, these deep neck flexors, but as we activate the muscles that pull or retract our chin backward, then we are actually lengthening the muscles in the back of the neck. So a good buddy of mine came up with a funny analogy. He's like, if you've ever been sitting at the hibachi grill and they light the flame and you're a little too close and you're like, oh, that's kind of what you're doing, okay? You're basically just retracting the head over the body, but it's a very subtle movement. And I always give the cue when you're doing this, I want you to just do it at a level that your scalenes, these big kind of necklace muscles that come down from the backs of our ears into our collarbone, sternocleidomastoid. The sternocleidomastoid that comes down from the mastoid process behind the ears into the collarbone and sternum area. We don't want to activate those as we are retracting the chin. So we need to do it at a relatively low level of contraction. If we're really trying to stretch this area, we can bias one side at a time by going through this sequence. I'm going to do it from the front and then I'm going to turn around and do it from the back. So if I'm trying to stretch my right side, I'm going to go through a chin tuck, then I'm going to side bend my head to the left, and while maintaining both of those components, I'm going to rotate my head diagonally up and to the right. And that gaps this right side suboccipital area. So I'm going to walk you through that again. We're going to go through a chin tuck, side bend left, maintain both of those components. And so when you do that, you're rotating up on a diagonal because I'm already side bent. You can use a little bit of overpressure with your hand. And then same thing from the back. I'm just going to show you guys what it looks like. So imagine I'm trying to gap this part of my neck. So I'm going to chin tuck, which lengthens it. I'm going to side bend, which stretches it. And then while maintaining that side bend, I'm going to rotate up, which opens it. You've got to maintain each component when you add the next one. If you lose, especially losing that chin tuck, if you lose the chin tuck, this thing is gone, because then all of a sudden we are popped back forward into that same, if I side bend, but I'm here and I rotate up, well, that is actually closing this side. I've got to maintain that chin tuck in order to gap this, and then when I side bend and rotate, we get a much better stretch of that actual joint. This is a really, really good one to go through if you're having that tightness. You can go through it on both sides, or if you're just having one-sided tightness, you can just go through it on one side. I really like a couple different ways of doing this. You can hold it for like a normal 20 second stretch, or you can really maintain that chin tuck and side bend and kind of slowly oscillate up and down on the diagonal plane to just kind of almost wiggle that joint loose a little bit. And sometimes, I'm gonna get real close to the camera, you may hear a pop in the neck when you do that. That is okay. Hopefully you guys can hear that. That's not threatening, but you may be pushing a little bit too hard. I don't really want you guys trying to pop your own neck when you're doing this, but we are using the coupling mechanics that we use if I'm causing a neck manipulation in a treatment setting. So don't push too hard, but this is a great stretch to go through, and hopefully you guys find it beneficial. If you have any questions pertaining to you specifically, please feel free to reach out to us and ask us beforehand. And again, you guys should be getting assessed by a provider before applying these stretches to yourself to make sure it's appropriate for you. So thanks for watching.